Hi, Jen here. Today, I will show you how to build your own drugstore makeup starter kit. This is a totally beginner-friendly makeup video. I decided to do this drugstore because when you're starting your makeup, you're not sure how you're gonna like something, so you don't want to spend like $40 on a foundation or a powder. I totally understand that. I've been there. Till this day, most of my favorite makeup are from the drugstore. Everything that you will need in your kit, I will show you how to use them. The order I do my makeup, you don't have to do it that way. I just want to put that out there. Starting with the brows. You will need three things to start your brows. You will need a brow pencil, a concealer, and a concealer brush. The brow product I will be using is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. What I love about this product is that the pencil is very fine, and you also have a spoolie that comes with it because you will need it throughout all the process of doing your brows. First, I'm going in with the spoolie part just to brush my hairs up. I just follow the natural shape of my brows. I go underneath first, and then I go on top of my brows. I then fill in the middle of the two lines. And in the front, I go in lightly, creating little hair-like strokes. Our brows will never be identical. They're sisters, not twins. I like to brush the product through my hair brows one last time. By the way, my Micro Brow Pencil by NYX is in the shade Espresso. You will need a concealer to clean up your brows. I personally go in with the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade 30 Cafe. This is one shade lighter than my skin color. I prefer to go with that because it gives a natural look, but you can go with maximum 2 shades lighter than your skin color. Do not go too light. You need a concealer brush that will be flat. So from the side, you can see how flat it is. I just put a tiny bit on the back of my hand, just like that. Dip my brush in there. What you do is just go in and trace the arch. And I make sure to blend the concealer down towards my lids. Next step, eyeshadow. This step is optional, but I want to give the full beginner makeup starter kit. And also, I am an eyeshadow girl. I love me some eyeshadow. I'm gonna show you how to do that. What you will need is an eyeshadow palette and 4 brushes. These are the Wet n Wild Color Icon eyeshadow palettes, and these to me are dupes of the Anastasia Beverly Hills. These are great beginner friendly options. You get all the shades you need to create a everyday makeup look, even a nighttime makeup look. These are amazing. I highly recommend them. For today's look, I will be using the My Glamorous Quad palette, which is a dupe to the Soft Glam palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I will use again my Maybelline Fit Me concealer to prime my eyelids. The purpose behind this is to make your eyeshadow more pigmented and to last longer on the lids. And blending this out using my concealer brush by tapping it all over my lids. I will do a natural everyday smoky eye. So the first shade I'm gonna go in with is this brown shade here. Using my flat shader brush and placing this all over my eyelids. So the flat shader brush, you are gonna use that when you're applying any shades on your eyelids. And because I have hooded eyes, I'm going past my natural crease line. I need my eyeshadow to show up when I open my eyes. And I'm just tapping the eyeshadow down my eyelids. I am not swiping it. I do swipe my eyeshadows when they are shimmer eyeshadows, but this is matte, so the only thing I have to do is tap, tap, tap. Next, going in with my blending brush, I'm going to use a transition shade this is the transition shade I'm gonna go in with, just to blend out the edges of the first shade. And first I am tapping this eyeshadow down all over the edges, and then after that I can start blending by doing little circular motions mixed with wiping motions. I'm going back with the first brown shade just to add it back in. Okay, we are done with the eyes. I don't do eyeliner because my hooded eyes and the highliners are not best friends. But I can recommend you a good eyeliner. It's the NYX Epic Liner. This is one of the best drugstore eyeliner. Let's move on to the face, and we are starting with primer. The purpose of primer is to create a barrier between your skin and the makeup. There are different types of primers on the market. There's hydrating primers, mattifying ones, gripping ones, and blurring ones. Today I will be using one that is pretty universal. It is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. And this primer, people with dry skin, oily skin gets away with that. I'm gonna take just a tiny bit and place this on my T-zone, especially because I have oily skin and that's where I need most of the product. Next, let's talk about foundation. The purpose of a foundation is to even out our skin tone. OG but goodie, today I will use the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Plus Poreless. This is a tongue twister. Let me start over. Maybelline Fit Me Matte Plus Poreless Foundation. This Fit Me foundation by Maybelline will always be my holy grail. First of all, Maybelline was one of the first drugstore foundation that was actually my skin color. I remember back in the days, like I can say like 10, 12 years ago, there was no Maybelline friendly shade in the drugstore. Not in my city, in Montreal. I used to go to Walmart, Jean Coutu, Pharmaprix, and I couldn't find one that could fit me. So, that could fit me, yes. So the Maybelline Fit Me is a good one. If you have normal or dry skin, another good one is the L'Oreal Fresh Wear Foundation. This, good. You can use a sponge to blend out your foundation or a foundation brush. This is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, but to keep it easy, I'm only gonna use a beauty sponge, okay? And this beauty sponge is the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge, and it is damp, so that's why it is that big. Okay, this is the time I need to clip back my hair. The Maybelline Fit Me foundation has a medium coverage that is buildable, and the shade I am using is the 355 Coconut. When you're using a damp sponge, when you're running it under water, you make sure to really squeeze out all the water from it, like, you know, squeeze. We're gonna start blending, and what you're gonna do is press the foundation, pounce it on your skin. You're not gonna drag it, because if you do that, it is gonna create some streakiness in your foundation, and you don't want that. And I'm using the bottom side of my sponge. When I go on my forehead, I pinch it because it is quite a big sponge. Next, concealers. Concealers will help to correct under eyes dark circles, any dark spots, and it also has a purpose to brighten up certain areas of the face. I have two good ones with me today. Of course, we have the OG LA Girl Pro Conceal Concealer. This has a medium coverage. The formula is amazing and it is very affordable. Next up, I have the L'Oreal Full Wear Concealer. This concealer is super thick. Not super thick, let me stop the drama here, but this concealer is thick. It has a full coverage, but it doesn't crease like crazy under the eyes. And one of my favorite one too that I don't have with me is the e.l.f. Camo Concealers. These, the matte one and the hydrating one, are amazing. Today we're gonna go in with the LA Girl Pro Concealer. Place this under your eyes, on the bridge of my nose, my forehead, my mustache, and on my chin. I will be blending this out using the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge on the cleaner side here. And again, I am pressing this on my skin. I am not swiping this. To go on my nose, I'm gonna pinch this as much as possible, just like when I was around my forehead. To go on my nose, because this sponge is quite big when it's damp. And under the eyes, same thing, pinch it so you can really get under the eyes. And what I like to do is go back with the part that I use my foundation. I will blend the edges of my concealer. Next, bronzer. This is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in the shade Sun Kissed, and this is optional. The reason why I'm saying it's optional because we are gonna go in with a powder bronzer. Cream bronzers has really been trending in 2021, and now I think it's kind of a staple in a makeup starter kit, so that's why I included that. Drugstore brands still need to do efforts for powder bronzers, but before there wasn't any bronzer for melanin at the drugstore. So that's why I decided to include the e.l.f. Putty one, because this one is so good. And this is what I'm going to use as well to contour, because I'm not gonna cream contour. The purpose of a bronzer is to add warmth back into the face. This is the brush I am going to use. It's the little angled brush, and I'm gonna dip my brush into this product. And you don't need to be scared because this has a natural finish. If you go in with too much, it's not gonna destroy your makeup. I'm placing this on my cheekbones, and see how this just warms up but also contours my face at the same time. So affordable. I highly recommend that you get this and put this in your starter makeup kit. See how it gives some definition and also warmed up my face. Now on my nose, I am going to use a blending brush to do the one on my nose. You just need a brush that is tiny to do that part on your nose. Next, blush. Again, just like the cream bronzers, cream blushes has become so popular in 2021, and today I'm using the e.l.f. Putty Blush in the shade Maldives. And like I said, this is optional because we're gonna use powders after that. Just like the putty bronzer, I'm going in directly with my brush. And I'm using a small angle brush that I found on AliExpress. I will link it down below in the description for you. Placing this right on top of my cheekbones. Put some on the tip of my nose. I love that look. Next, powders. We need to set under our eyes. It is a must for me because it's gonna prevent creasing under the eyes, and at the same time you can use the same powder to set any highlighted areas where you use the concealer to brighten up. One of my fave drugstore setting powder is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Setting Powder. Is in the shade medium 30. I'm gonna tap some in the cap, just a little bit, not a lot. I will use my damp e.l.f. Total Face Sponge to go in with the powder, but before I do so, I will blend the creases underneath my eyes. You need to blend this out before going in with setting powder. I dip my sponge into the powder. Okay, remove the excess. I even go back in the back of my hand, just like that. just to make sure that it is even. You don't want to have too much under your eyes. Even blow on it. And then directly go underneath and press it gently under your eyes. So you're gonna continue repeating the same step for the rest of your face. So on my forehead, on the bridge of my nose, my mustache. I even go a little bit on my smile lines because I get smile lines, and of course my chin. Next, face powder. Face powder is useful because it's gonna set your foundation. It's gonna prevent it from moving around or transfer, and it's all I can't talk. It's also going to help your foundation last longer. Here we go. The powder of choice I have for you is the Maybelline Fit Me Pressed Powder. This one is the matte plus poreless. There's also the I need to calm down because I'm not gonna finish this video. There's also the dewy one, but today I'm going in with the matte one, and I love this one because even though it's matte, it's not gonna feel drying on the skin. This is in the shade 355 Coconut, and I'm gonna place this in the areas where I have foundation left that needs to be set. I use my face powder to set my nose contour because I feel like it gives a less harsh look to the face. Now, bronzer, the powder one. This is where the trouble starts. In the drugstore, there are not enough options. There's barely any options when it comes to powder bronzers for us melanin people. There's one. I also have another option that is affordable but not drugstore. The drugstore version I have that is available in my drugstores anyways in Montreal, Canada no, I'm lying. This is not even available in drugstores in Montreal, Canada. I'm gonna be honest with you, there's no bronzers available in drugstores in Montreal, Canada that are melanin friendly. Thinking about it, no. We have to basically create our own bronzers by getting warmer, deeper face powder shades. But drugstore version for people outside of Montreal, Canada, that would be the CoverGirl Sculpt Expert bronzer. I love this one, but it has a little bit of shimmers in there. So this is a shimmery bronzer. Now, if you're looking for a matte bronzer that is not drugstore, but very affordable, the best out there, I'm telling you, it's the Morphe Glamour bronzer. And this is in the shade Leader. But today, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use the CoverGirl one because it's drugstore. The brush I am using is a angled brush. The purpose of the bronzer, like I mentioned earlier, is to give some warmth to the face. I used to not use bronzers a lot, but now I've come to really love it. And you see how it just gives some warmth. So this is a good option if you don't mind the little shimmers in there. Next, we have blush, the powder one. And the one I'm gonna be using today is the Rimmel Maxi Blush. The shade I have is in Rendezvous. You will need a angled brush, exactly the same like I used to apply the bronzer. I'm just gonna take a little bit because we already have the cream blush underneath, but if you didn't have any cream blushes, then I would go with a little bit more, so it can last longer. Next, contour. Contour, this is optional because we did already bronze, but this is if you want more definition and dimension to your face. This is the purpose of a contour. And I'm going to use the True Complexion Contour Palette. This is, again, not available in Montreal, Canada. I don't know what they're doing with us, why they're doing this to us. If you don't have access to the Black Radiance True Complexion palette, I think you can find this on Amazon, or you can use a face powder that is deeper. I'm going to use the same brush I used to bronze, and I'm gonna go in a little bit with the contour shade because this is very pigmented and deep, and I am going to mix it with the Sculpt shade. I'm gonna place this right here, starting in my temple and slowly bring it back down. Now, for mascara, I will be using the e.l.f. Lash It Loud mascara, super affordable, and I'm just gonna put a tiny coat of it because I will wear falsies, fake lashes. Fake lashes are optional, but I'm still going to tell you more about it if you want to get it yourself. And for lashes, Drugstore has so many lashes options. There is the Ardell brand as well as the Kiss. Today I'm going in with the Kiss pair, and this is flirty. It comes with two, but I've already used one pair of these. You need to trim your lashes to fit your eyes. I will use the Kiss Lash Adhesive. The reason why I love this one is because it has an applicator, and I'm going to use this as an eyeliner. I'm gonna place this like I would with the eyeliner. And this is a clear one. You should get the clear one. And while it's getting a little bit tacky or drying down a little, I will also put just a tiny bit on the lash band of the lashes. The best way, for beginners is to apply it with your tweezers or your fingers. And my trick is to look down in a mirror like that so I can see where to place my lashes. So this is it for the lashes. Very easy to apply this way. I think it's very beginner friendly to do it that way. We are going to finish the lower lash line. This is again optional. I like it because I think it ties the look. And I will be using the flat top shader brush. I'm going to use the brown shade, the one we used on the lid. Just before going in with mascara on my bottom lashes, we need to use setting spray. I just realized that my mic was so far from me, and hopefully you could hear me properly. The purpose of a setting spray is just to set your makeup so it can last longer, as well as removing the powdery look that's going on right now on her face. What I'm going to use is the NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray. And there's also different types of setting spray, such as dewy setting sprays. I'm going to cover my eyes because I don't want the mascara to run down my face, and I want to keep my lashes dry. You have to keep the bottle approximately 30 centimeters away from your face, like that. And you spray this on your face. Gonna let this dry down before going in with some mascara on my lower lash line. While my face is drying, next we're going to use highlighter. It is something for me, I don't use a lot of it. I only use it in my inner corners, bridge of my nose, the tip of my nose, and Cupid's bow. Some people use it also on the cheeks, but I'm not doing this anymore. And the highlighter I think is amazing. Drugstore highlighter is the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter, and this one is in molten gold. I'm gonna use a tiny bit with my eye pencil brush. Okay, so now we can go in with the mascara on the bottom lashes. And my trick is to look up. Finally, lips. Going to line my lips with the NYX lip pencil in the shade Espresso. This is definitely optional. It depends on your taste. I like to line my lips, and if you don't want to, you don't have to. And to finish this up, I'm going to use, I think, the best drugstore lip gloss ever. It's the NYX Butter Gloss. And I'm going to mix Praline with Fortune Cookie. You don't have to use both. Just find a shade that suits you. They smell good. They're not sticky, they last long, they're affordable. And with fortune cookie, I'm gonna add this in the middle. Voila. Alright, you made it to the end of this video. I really hope this video was helpful to help you create your own drugstore makeup starter kit. If it did, please leave a comment down below and like this video. And if you're not part of the family yet, come on, subscribe and join the squad. This is gonna help my channel and it's free, so why not? Thank you so much for joining me and I will see you all on my next one. À bientôt. Mwah.